Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hut's Gaming F1 League on F1 23. We're here for round 5 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It's a sprint weekend today. Sprint day. So we've got a 12-lap sprint ahead of the 36-lap event. 50% race. So the sprint ends up being a third of the half race distance, which is, well, I guess, yeah. That's always how it is. It's a third of the full race distance in real life anyway. 100 kilometers, slightly below a third full distance, but never mind. So, we are approaching the... What's going on? I pressed the wrong button. Oh well, never mind. We are approaching the moment that the race is going to begin. Meow! And so we can move in to the loading screen. Just going to make sure that my voice is audible. Yeah, that sounds good enough to me. What does that say? That's a, what is that? Emoji or something that says VAT. VAT? Value added tax? Or is that trying to say what? In an accent? I don't know. Oh, that's something I forgot to check. Let me just check what the... I don't believe there's going to be any penalties to be applied for this qualifying session. Let me just check the statements. It looks like there is not going to be any... Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's having a qualifying ban, so... Put that out of the way. 22 seconds until qualifying gets underway. Looks like a cloudy day. This game does look quite good sometimes. Unfortunately, my PC at the lower end. But guess what? I don't have an... Oh! One-shot quali. That's why things are going differently. But yes, I do not have a new computer, nor do I have one on the way, but I do have the money for one, so I need to access things differently. Currently, it's Jordan leading the way. I don't like how things happen here. Where is everyone? Optovici, he'll do. He's up there. It looks like it's going to end up being a Williams 1-2 at the minute. With Optovici P2 behind Bubbly. It's quite close at the minute. Vic Vinegar and Shankstar appear to have crashed on their laps or been invalidated. Through turn 5 and 6. Purple for Bubbly. Optovici losing out to TomTom and Surti at the minute. At the minute, though, it looks like Bubbly could take pole position here. Optovici briefly ahead of TomTom. And ahead of TomTom now, and it's getting too close to call. Bubbly is going to take pole position. One-shot qualifying, I do believe that's for the entire event. Just ahead of Surti, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Wow, look at that difference. Less than a tenth between Bubbly and Surti, but then it's 3 tenths to TomTom. And the gap between TomTom and Optovici, just watch. That is so close. Hundredths in it. Literally about 2 hundredths. And TomTom would have been 4th. That isn't bad. Not bad at all. Bubbly, though, in a slightly different realm from everyone else. Just take a look at the rest of the field. Has Gladius got disqualified too? So Angel, Illyrial Fusion, and Gladius got disqualified. Vic, Bengal, and Shankstar appear to have crashed. Right, on to the 12-lap sprint then. And we are not getting a second qualifying session. And I believe we're going to go straight into the race after the reverse bug glitches from Montreal, which sent me into a death spiral. Anyway, so just waiting for everyone to set their cars up the way they want, choose the strategies and whatnot, and we'll be getting underway momentarily. We've got lights coming on. Unfortunately, I've dropped my controller. Fat-fingered. Bollocks. Sorry, everyone. I completely fat-fingered that. We've lost. We've had a big crash at the start. At turn 1 already. Vic Vinegar out of the race. Big 6. Losing out a lot. We've got a VSC already. Let me just take a look at some stuff. Telemetry we don't really need. Tyres, almost everyone on mediums with 4 of the remaining runners. Well, it was 5 runners, but now 4 runners on the softs, including TomTom and Daniel. There's been a swap for position under the safety car. Daniel passing Optovici. I think maybe it wasn't intentional. I don't know what's going on. Green flag again. So far, we had the 5 red lights. They went out whilst I was fiddling with my controller. So apologies for that. And Pookie in 8th, looking to get some good positions, points. It's been a while since Pookie's been up at the top. I think he was champion once, but not at the minute. Yeah, he was champion on F1 2021, and he hasn't been champion since. It's been a bit of a struggle for Pookie, and for Sherlock is losing a position to Biscuit. At the front, we've got a... Oh, is that a dive bomb? That's up to Vichy, going up the inside of Daniel 99. Daniel's got the traction with the soft tyres, but Jordan right up the chuff of both of these cars. Is that going to be Optovici taking the lead? No, not the lead. Taking P4. Not yet. Maybe it won't ever be yet, as eBird and Pookie also tangling for position. And Pookie does definitely seem to be the faster driver around here. Yeah, especially because he's got the softer rubber. But eBird placing that Alpine in a very irritating spot. Oh, they're both going wide. eBird's got it all wrong, and that's Pookie taking P7, and that might be eBird about to lose P8 to Biscuit 2. He's got the inside for turn 1. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. But Biscuit might have the better run. No, not on this occasion, and DRS for both of these cars. So passing is going to be difficult. Jordan, meanwhile, going up the inside of Optovici. We've just lost another driver. We've got a full safety car now, as Sork appears to have spun on the exit of the pit lane. Didn't catch exactly what happened. Let's take a look at position changes. Top 3 are the same. Daniel and Jordan have both moved up 1 position. Optovici has lost 2. Pookie has gained 2 positions. eBird is back where he started. Biscuit has actually lost 2 positions himself. Sherlock is where he started. Jabber is up 2 positions. He's within sniffing distance of the points. Reese is where he started. Gladius, who was disqualified, is up 7 positions. So very good start from what I believe is a former reserve driver. I'm pretty sure he's full-time now. Bengal coming into the pit, so he's going to lose his 2 positions that he gained. And Shankstar, Angel, Fusion down quite a bit. I think he had to replace his front wing after that tangle at turn 1 on lap 1. Meanwhile, oh no, there's been a massive... This has gone completely wrong. It seems that the safety car has caught out a bunch of people and our leader, Bubbly, is now down in 9th. The safety car has just ruined Bubbly's sprint here. But then, it's hard to tell. Maybe Bubbly was thinking he was still racing. I don't know. He said that shouldn't have happened. Sadly, can't verify what happened. I can't exactly go back and replay it, but yeah, that's not really what you want to have happen. Especially in the sprint, when you're leading. Which means our championship leader, TomTom... I'm pretty sure he's still the championship leader, because we had the standings up on the screen, and I just didn't bother looking, really. I was blanking on them. But yeah, TomTom... Pretty sure he's still leading the way. In fact, I'd be surprised if it wasn't, because he won in Austria and Hungary. So this has put him into a very good position to take P1 in the sprint from Surtees, especially because his qualifying was somewhat weak. Meanwhile, Bubbly's got to be kicking himself. He picked up pole position and now he's nowhere. Outside of the points. Good position for Daniel as well, championship contender. He's only won one race this season so far. That being Japan. In fact, no, it wasn't Japan, it was... Was it Japan? I don't remember. My memory's like a sieve sometimes. Safety car is in fact coming in this lap. So Surtees will be leading the pack away, but he's got some fierce competition behind him. His medium tyres are going to have to contend with TomTom's soft tyres. This is kind of how F1 would look this year if Red Bull wasn't there. McLaren fighting with Aston Martin. If only the Mercedes were genuinely down in the bottom half of the field. As racing is about to get back underway, Surtees goes for it at the penultimate corner. It looks like we've got Jordan getting a bit racy with Daniel, not shifting up in time though to... Yeah, he left it a bit late to shift up. And that's actually put him slightly at a bit of a threat from Optovici. Can the Williams retake some of his positions? We're going to go back to that previous graphic. Position changes. Surtees leading the way, but under major threat from championship leader TomTom. TomTom not able to make a move just yet. Daniel under threat from Jordan, under threat from Optovici. E-Bird up into 6th. It's been a poor start for the Red Bull duo. Pookie and Sherlock have lost a couple of positions to Biscuit, of all people. Biscuit had a pretty good race last time out. He was able to pick up a point, especially as there were a lot of penalties going around. Oh, that's E-Bird going wide in the final corner again, as Daniel has just picked up the fastest lap of the sprint. Won't get a point for it. Oh, there's been a spin. Angel is off at the final corner. He's managed to keep it going, but that's not really ideal. Biscuit closing on E-Bird. Can he make the move? He's getting a bit too close for comfort, and he touches the rear end. That's opening the door for Pookie, who might be able to take both positions. Biscuit did lift off. He allowed E-Bird to keep the position, but Pookie has capitalized on this brilliantly. He's just not quite able to make the move on eBird. Yeah, it's a bit of a tall order at the minute. We are halfway through the sprint now, and things are starting to hot up. eBird under major threat. The Red Bull behind. If this was real life, eBird would be sweating bullets. Well, he's probably sweating bullets anyway. As Pookie, look at the amount of energy that eBird has used trying to keep Pookie behind. All for naught in the end, because Pookie is going to get... Oh, that was Biscuit almost going off. He's about to lose P8 to Bubbly. And indeed he does it, and Pookie making a move on eBird now, up through turn 3. Nicely done, into P6. But Bubbly right behind, looking to snatch P7 from eBird. eBird defending very viciously there, pushing Bubbly to that side of the track. Bubbly able to take the position anyway, but that was very, very aggressive defending from the Alpine. That could have gone very wrong. And now Bubbly looking to make his way past Pookie now. Daniel up front might be able to take P2 from TomTom, as Bubbly gonna try and go around the outside of Pookie, get the switch back. Maybe eBird has just picked up a penalty. He's getting all sorts of things wrong. All kinds of out of shape, whilst Bubbly with the DRS is going to stay behind Pookie. He's gonna make the dive bomb. It's gone. I thought he got it wrong. It has not. Where has Pookie gone? Pookie has lost out majorly. Pookie outside of the points now. eBird has been overtaken by his teammate Gladius. Look at this. Who cares about the lead? This is the fight for the final point. Gladius and Biscuit getting snapped of oversteer. Gladius now side by side with eBird, but he's got the traction and is able to stay ahead for now. But can eBird take the position through turn 4? He's using a lot of his energy. Biscuit rather, on the inside of turn 5 or 6 or whatever, and not able to hold on. He's just on the cusp of the points. It's getting very close at the tail end of the field. At the upper end of the field, Daniel within touching distance of TomTom rather, as Biscuit has just picked up a penalty himself. That's not ideal. Pookie could still be within touching, could still get some points today. Gladius up 13 positions. If this was the race itself... Oh, we've just lost Sherlock. We might be getting another safety car here. No, it looks like we're not going to get anything. Poor old Sherlock doing not too badly, but in the end had to lose out. The top 5 pulling away at a rate of knots compared to the rest of the field. Bubbly now into P6 ahead of Gladius and eBird, the 2 Alpines holding on to the final 2 points-paying positions. Biscuit in P9. Oh, that's a very poor turn 6 for eBird. Neither of these drivers going to get points. This might still open the door for Pookie as Angels spun off on the exit of turn 4. Oh, look at this. I thought they were going around side by side. Spinning rather. Biscuit with the DRS going towards turn 1 on this penultimate lap. Can Biscuit make the move? Not quite. Oh, we're getting some major lag here. It's not really helping my perception of this race, because it looked like that Biscuit was going to go around. Well, Biscuit briefly into P8, but now he's got Pookie for company alongside him. Pookie does not have a penalty. Oh, there's been another crash. eBird has lost out. eBird out of the race on the exit of turn 3. Meanwhile, Surtee is going to more than likely take victory in the sprint ahead of TomTom, who is fighting off the approach of Daniel and Jordan and Optovici. This is getting really close and tight. Oh dear. On to the final lap now. It's all to play for TomTom, just about within DRS range of 30. He had to dump his energy, and this is going to allow him to stay just ahead of Daniel. Can Daniel make the dive bomb? No, he's definitely going to go for it. Going for the move. Can he do it? Will he have the traction? It's still side by side. Jordan right behind them too. DRS for all three of them. But look at this. That's Daniel trying to make the move. It's 3 wide into turn 4. This is one hell of a sprint. And we're on the final lap. Angel retires in the pit lane. He knows he's not scoring any points today. Look at this. It's still too close to call. Daniel and TomTom side by side. Jordan right behind. If any of these three messes up, Optovici could still take a podium here. It's still side by side. Daniel now ahead of TomTom. TomTom forced off the track. And it's going to be Daniel taking P2 ahead of TomTom. And Jordan, despite the DRS, has to take P5. Optovici, P6. Gladius, P6 rather. Optovici, P5. It's going to be neck and neck over the line for Pookie, who takes P7. Penalties being applied means Leral Fusion will take the final points paying position from the sprint. That was epic for a sprint. Damn. Oh dear. Ugh. So, Surtees takes sprint victory ahead of Daniel, TomTom, Jordan, Optovici, Gladius, Pookie, and Fusion. Then it's Big Six, Bengal, Jabber, Bubbly, Biscuit, Reese, Shankstar, Angel, eBird, Sherlock, Sork, and Vic. The last 4 or 5 of those, and yeah. It was retirement for everyone from P15 down, I think. Terminal damage. Exceeded track limits. Well, that's the sprint over. Now on to the race for 436 laps. If it's that loaded with action for the entirety of the Grand Prix, I might have to get a new voice box. Meantime, I'm gonna nibble on a couple of fingers. Hardly anyone watching. 6 people watching apparently, but no one's leaving any comments. Chat, where are you? Roll call. Well, here we go. 5 lights are coming on for Huts Gaming F1 League. Here in Austria, it's lights out and away we go. Ahead, for the race. And Daniel 99 already into P1 before turn 1. And you can see why he is using soft tyres. Let's bring up the data. Lots of soft runners. 3 of the 4 of the top 4 are on mediums, and you can see, look at that! Optovici making a dive bomb of 3 of the top 4, of top 5 rather. And now Optovici looking like he could take P2 here. No, not quite. Gladius on the tail end of this fight for the top 7. There's been some spins already. Sherlock and Shankstar losing out, as well as Vic. Currently it's a McLaren 2-4. Daniel leading the way ahead of Jordan and Optovici. TomTom's lost out a bit. He's in P5, which is the lowest position we've seen him in for a while. But this is TomTom we're talking about. He will be able to nurse some pace out of that car somehow. Apologies, I've got something stuck in my throat. Optivici making a dive bomb on Jordan through turn 3. Will he have the traction? Well, Jordan is using his energy, almost certainly using his energy, to stay ahead of the Williams. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. They've got very similar levels of energy. Could be that one car has less downforce than the other. Let's look at the positional changes. Bubbly up 4 positions already. And TomTom losing out quite a bit. Surtees, the pole sitter, losing out a huge amount as well. 3 positions down to P4, but can he retake the position for Optivici? Well, I don't know what exactly happened there. We had a bit of a lag spike of some description. I thought he was going to make the position, and then suddenly just slows down instantly. Yeah, some weird stuff going on. Surtees, though, dumping the battery, trying to go for the dive bomb. Well, it's not really a dive bomb, just an overtake of the inside. But Optivici, well, they both have the DRS, and Optivici has a bit more energy to play with, probably, and the traction of the soft tyres. Can Optivici hold on to P3 here? Surtees has the inside, and it looks like Surtees is going to retake P3 here. Nicely done for the race pole sitter, the winner of the sprint. And now Optivici under threat from TomTom. Behind, Level Fusion is pressuring Gladius. DRS is enabled. Fusion getting it slightly wrong through turn 9. Finding a bit too much slide than he would have wanted, as Jordan, now fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So let's keep an eye on Jordan here. He's not got a lot of energy left. Nor does Daniel. Daniel is using his energy to defend from the McLaren, who has the DRS. Now, the soft tyres are still going to be pretty grippy at this stage, but eventually they're going to start falling off the cliff. As Optivici seems to be finding out, as TomTom making the move around the outside. But can he hold on to the position, as Optivici had the inside for turn 4, but TomTom able to make it stick. So now TomTom into P4, 1 place below where he started. We had a few pit stops of some sort, I believe, as look at the gaps of some of these cars. Sherlock is last, Vic is 19th, eBird has lost out a lot as well. Shankstar and Jabber miles off the pace as well. And Bengal, 5 paces down from where he started, is 1.2 seconds off what is one of 2 trains here. His teammate Sork is pressuring Reese for P11 here. And Pookie pressuring Biscuit for the final points playing position. Now Pookie gave us a lot of action in the sprint, and you saw Pookie lifting off before he went into turn 3. He wants to make the move down the straight. But he's not using a lot of his energy. He's biding his time, as our pole sitter, Bubbly, losing out to position to Fusion here. But able to hold on. In fact, actually, maybe Fusion was losing out to Bubbly. And now he's going to have a Mercedes for company soon enough. Big 6 closing in, 8/10 behind the AlphaTauri. 2 more Honda-powered cars. Look at this. It's going side by side. Sork defending from... Oh, that's getting really close between Angel and... no, it's Reese defending from Sork and Angel, my apologies. And there's another car behind that. Bengal catching up to this little battle here. 30 into P3 at the minute. I think he's managed to get TomTom. I'm not entirely sure. Getting very, very close. It looks like that was Pookie trying to make the move on Biscuit. He hasn't made a stick as Bengal outbreaks himself. Had to take evasive action. Otherwise, he would have gone into the back of Angel. Goes side by side for the lead now. Surti and Daniel. The soft tyres seem to be finally losing out. Surti actually got past his teammate somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but the two McLarens have swapped places. And TomTom now looking to get in on the action. The top... Oh my god, I don't know how far back this goes. The top 9 are very close to one another. With Big Six the furthest off of anyone. 7 tenths off of Bubbly. Everyone else is within 5 to 4 tenths. As Surti looks like he's finally made the move for P1 down the straight. The non-existent P2, turn 2 rather. This is getting very, very close as Optivici losing out to Gladius now. Oh my god. It's like I said, I'm going to need a new voice box as Optivici and Level Fusion going side by side down the main straight, second straight, sort of as... Oh no, that's gone horrifically wrong! Bubbly out of the race! Safety car! Bubbly getting... tangling with someone. Being forced off, spearing into the wall, and our pole sitter loses out. He will finish this weekend with no points. That is beyond devastating. And I suppose it's a good thing that he's not really in the fight for the championship. Because those are points that you cannot afford to lose. Cars coming into the pits. TomTom first into the pits, stopping for what I would imagine would be hard tyres. And a new front wing, so he's picked up front wing damage somewhere. So that's not ideal. And TomTom losing out a few positions here. Soft tyres going off and mediums going on for Jabber. E-Bird also coming into the pits. Vic staying out. Take a look at the tyres. Vic is on mediums, 6 lap old mediums. They've been on since lap 2, I think. Sherlock on hard tyres. So E-Bird will now be last on track. TomTom's lost out a few positions. He's now 9th overall. However, the top 6 have not stopped. So Surti, Daniel, Jordan, Gladius, Lero Fusion, and Bengal in P6 of all things. These guys have not stopped. Nor has Shankstar, I believe. So we've got to wait for E-Birds to latch onto their end of the pack, which means racing should get back underway for lap 10. Should. Fairly short lap around here, though. And I think we've just had a glitch. Daniel has picked up a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. What is going on? Surti was leading and all of a sudden he's 4th again. What? I think the online mode is trolling us again. Because Gladius was allowed to overtake under the safety car, which is not allowed. This is a glitch that's been in the game for years. It's unacceptable. Surtees was leading, and now all of a sudden he's P4. I think potentially he alt-tabbed. That's something that always seems to happen. If you alt-tab whilst you're driving, you lose positions. It's going to happen, so just don't alt-tab. So Daniel is going to lead everyone away now, after the safety car decided to ruin people's races. Yep, Surtees down 3 positions. And Gladius has now been promoted into the podium positions, even though he probably didn't really deserve it. He needed to get there himself as Optovici picks up a 3-second time penalty. So the penalties coming thick and fast. And Daniel might still have to serve that penalty that he has picked up, because reasons. So remember, the top 6, well, it was the top 6, is now 6 of the top 7 have not stopped yet. Bengal has already lost out a position to Optovici, the highest running runner, the highest running driver who has made a stop. eBird's made 2 stops, which would explain why he's lost out so much. Surtees on the tail end of Gladius. We've had a spin. That's Jabber as Reese picks up a 3-second time penalty. Jabber has spun or something, gone off the track at turn 6. Surtees very close to the tail end of Gladius. He wants his position back. He knows he deserves it. He was there before and the game decided to take it away from him, and he's got with the DRS. He's able to sail past the Alpine and retake the position. Optovici under threat from... No, not under threat. He's made the move on Lero Fusion. TomTom has dispatched with Bengal. So the pit stop, the people who made their pit stops into the safety car, they're starting to reap the benefits of the new tyres. Which means that those people who didn't stop, they're going to lose out massively, as Jordan and Daniel going side by side through turn 6. The battle for P1 getting quite toasty at the minute. Very close. The 2 McLarens chasing down Daniel. But which way is this going to go? Well, I don't think any of these 3 drivers are going to win, because they didn't stop under the safety car. That means they're going to lose out under racing conditions unless they get another safety car. And will that happen? Well, who knows? Daniel's certainly been hoping for it, because Jordan has made the move through turn 3. Daniel losing out, but he has the DRS crucially, which means he could retake the position from Jordan, but Jordan's just a bit too fast. He had better traction. That is the difference with the old soft tyres and old medium tyres. The mediums still have a bit more grip by this point, I would imagine. Optovici into 4th place now. He's dispatched Fusion. I think Gladius has had a spin or something. He is down into 7th place. And we're getting lots of caution flags. Something has happened. Bengal has crashed. We get a VSC. Let's see what happened if we jump on board with Jabber. Nope, the cars disappeared too quickly. So what happened there? Are there any cars with damage, potentially? Shanksar, potentially, is coming into the pit. Nope, he's not coming into the pits. Some drivers are. But crucially, well, Daniel is one of them. What is going on? Come on. Daniel did stop for new tyres. He's put on mediums. So he's... Oh, Jabber. Oh, drive-through penalty under the VSC. And because it was a VSC, it means Daniel's pit stop... Oh, it wasn't the best timed. He's potentially going to lose out quite a bit here. And he's... Oh, what's the word? Committed himself to a 2-stop strategy by going from... In fact, no, he hasn't. He started on soft tyres and he's gone to mediums. It's just the game being stupid again. Confusing me. So now the two McLarens leading the way with a McLaren 1-2, but it's not going to stay that way because look who's behind. Optovici, getting all sorts of out of shape. Able to keep it in a straight line. That was one hell of a save. So Optovici on fresh mediums as well as TomTom on fresh hards. Gladius in P5 at the minute. Ahead of Pookie. You can only wonder how long he's going to hold on to that position as Optovici looks like he's making the move on both the McLarens. Oh no, Surtees has got it all wrong. Went on to the runoff. Loses positions by all sorts of half spinning and sliding. Down into P7 now. That's gone all kinds of wrong. Pear-shaped for poor old Surtees. It's really not what he would have wanted. So now TomTom into P3. 1.5 seconds behind Jordan. And one can only wonder how long Jordan is going to hold on to that position. Race supremacy, you say? Yes, superior supremacy. He is holding on to 17th like a boss. He is clearly the best driver out there at holding 17th position, which isn't saying much because ideally he'd want to be first. And guess what? He's not. So, Jordan. Still within touching distance as eBird picks up a penalty. Surtees has finally come in for a pit stop. And he's going to lose out quite a bit. He's going to come out behind Daniel and Fusion. Fusion, though, is having some sort of connection difficulties. He's just left the lobby. Let's see, what are the penalties like? 3 seconds for Optovici and Biscuit and Surtees and Reese, and 6 seconds for eBird. Level Fusion managing to come back. His AI able to keep Surtees behind. Pookie into 4th place now, behind Gladius. With the incident with Surtees, he's been promoted up an additional position or 2. And with Gladius still on the tyres he started the race on, well, Gladius's pace is not going to be the best at the minute. And this looks like it's going to be an inevitable overtake for the Red Bull. This is the highest position we've seen a Red Bull in this season, at least in Huts Gaming. And there's a couple other cars behind who are looking to get past Gladius as well. Biscuit and Big Six. Sherlock retiring from the session. He's done so in the pits as Jabber has had another spin, this time on the exit of turn 7. eBird in the points, but if the race finishes like this, he's not going to keep that position. He's only going to finish 10th. But Daniel is going to be flying. Let's take a look at the pit stops again. So eBird on 8-lap old tyres, so his pace is not going to be as good as Daniel's is. Shankstar is on the tyres he started the race on, as is Gladius, as is Jordan. They're waiting as long as they can. As there's been a spin for a Red Bull. Is that Pookie? No, it is Sherlock. Sherlock had a crash, actually. But, crucially, there was no VSC. Pookie, meanwhile, not able to hold on... not able to pull away from the drivers behind. Meanwhile, TomTom is trying to make the move on Jordan. He's managed to close the gap, and he's making the dive bomb through turn 4. Jordan trying to fight it back with a switchback, but it's not going to be enough. TomTom into P2. It's like Thanos would say, he is inevitable. But now, what can our Williams friend do? Can he hold on to the position to P1 ahead of TomTom? Well, Jordan has decided that he's going to pit now that he's been overtaken. He held out for as long as he could, and now he is pitting, which is going to promote Pookie into P3. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on. Gladius losing out to Biscuit Big Six trying to make the move on Gladius as well. Can he do it? Not through turn 1, he can't. DRS, Gladius running incredibly low on energy. Dangerously low. He's trying to make the move back on Biscuit. He is fighting for everything he's worth, but it's not going to be enough, especially as Big Six has the traction. He's using his energy, and he takes P5 from Gladius. So car number 6 goes from P6 to P5. Sork is also trying to fight with Gladius as well. These are some drivers that we don't usually see in the points. That early safety car has really thrown some things for a loop. So some of the drivers who don't have many points this season could be in for a good haul of those things. Sork, eBird, Angel, Daniel, meanwhile, is closing the gap to his teammate gradually. It was 9 seconds a couple of laps ago. It's now 6.6. So Daniel is putting the work in. He's making those new tyres work for it. Work for him, I don't know. Meanwhile, TomTom, I think this might be inevitable once again. Optovici doing his level best to keep TomTom behind. Sork picks up a penalty. 5-second penalty for corner cutting. He's going very wide at turn 5 by the looks of things. And eBird looks like he's just lost out to Angel. It's also Big Six into P4 ahead of Biscuit. Pookie has managed to open the gap behind him to 1.3 seconds, so he's safe from DRS for now. Can he close the gap in front? Well, it's going to be a miracle if he can, because these two are just in a complete world of their own. Optovici holding off the Aston Martin of TomTom. And there's something that makes me wondering about TomTom's nickname. Like the FE at the end, is that meant to be the periodic table for iron? TomTom Iron. Hang on, have I talked about that before? I don't know. TomTom saving his energy by the looks of things. Gonna wait for a more opportune moment, perhaps, to overtake Optovici? Maybe he's got the DRS, he's not using his energy. Maybe he's just waiting for Optovici to use up his energy, and yeah. Opti doesn't have as near enough. Hang on. It doesn't have as much as TomTom does, but it's not a dangerously low amount. 43% at the minute compared to TomTom's 87, so he can still defend there a bit. Just not as much if TomTom decides to dump his entire battery. Big Six closing on Pookie, though. Pookie was able to hold off Big Six for a little while, but now, let me see, when did they stop? Same lap. So Big Six in for some good points. Can he take P3 and a podium away from Pookie? Still watching TomTom at the same time. It looks like he's closer to Optovici this time around, but I think he's waiting for 100% battery. Meanwhile, Pookie, Sork has just overtaken Angel for P7. Big Six and Biscuit trying to make their way past Pookie. Now Pookie, as I said earlier, previous champion here as Angel retakes the position from Sork. Pookie is going to want to stand on the podium again. It's been a long time since we've seen him there, as we've got eBird sandwiched between the two Alpines. eBird ahead of Angel. What is going on down there? This is one hell of a battle at the minute. Daniel managing to take his teammate, and eBird dives into the pit, so it looked like Angel got out of the way of his teammate, but that he might lose out to Jordan here. What is the tyre ages like again? 7-lap-old tyres, 14-lap-old mediums for Angel, so he's going to be quite slow. As we miss the move, Optovici has lost the position to TomTom, but he is fighting back, and look at TomTom. This is what he was holding that energy for. Dump the energy on the exit of turn 4 through turn 5, and he's like, thank you very much, I will take that position from you now. So apologies for not catching it on the stream, but we caught the tail end of it. TomTom is inevitable. Snaps fingers and half the field disappears. Meanwhile, Jordan and Sork and Daniel going almost too wide through the penultimate corner. Sork having to back off and let them through. Daniel into P7 now. His tyres much newer and a bit softer, but they will be... it's hard to tell how this is going to pan out. Jordan on newer hard tyres. And one would imagine he will be better through the corners than Daniel. Well, Daniel getting mighty close. But not close enough. Caution as Ebird retires from the race in the pit lane. Meanwhile, the battle for P3 still ongoing. 13 laps remaining for Pookie. Can he hold on? He's doing well enough at the moment. Big Six has not been able to overtake Pookie yet. Even with the DRS, even with energy, he's using some of it, but Pookie's got enough to answer with as well. Same for Biscuit. All three of these drivers got sort of middling levels of energy to play with. Jordan under threat from Daniel still, and you've got to wonder if that is Daniel's tyres just not being able to hold up at the moment, because they are older than Jordan's. They might be softer, but they can't hold on forever. Meanwhile, at the front, Optovici has retaken the position from TomTom. So this is a battle that we're missing because we keep focusing on the midfield. Having some issues on the phone again. Go away. So TomTom and Optovici swapping positions again, and Optovici diving into the pits. So TomTom is going to take P1. And if there's another safety car, this could be disastrous for Optovici. Is he going to lose another few positions? Pookie is going to take P2. Big Six will get him to the podium, but now it's soft tyres for Optovici, which means he is going to be absolutely flying through this final section, part of the race. More penalties. Gladius picking up fastest lap of the race. Optovici fighting with Sork now for P8, and you can imagine that his traction and grip is just going to be so much better than Sork's old hard tyres. TomTom's going to have to respond, I think. It's getting mighty close. Meanwhile, Pookie has finally lost the position to Big Six. Will Pookie make the same move? Will he dive into the pits for soft tyres as well? Not sure, but TomTom doesn't feel threatened by Optovici. He thinks he can hold on. Everyone else thinks they can hold on, so was this a strategic blunder by Optovici? He's how far behind is he? 16.6 seconds. So he's made up a few seconds already. If TomTom was to pit right now, then he would lose effective P1. There has been... Nope, that's Jabber pitting, retiring in the pits. He's had enough. So yellow flags are not going to count. Reese picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's superior at picking up penalties when he shouldn't be. I'll give him that. And this is Biscuit. No, Pookie getting ahead of Big Six again. So these two fighting for a place on the podium should Optovici be able to overtake them both again. The gap's minuscule. Jordan closing up behind, but his tyres are a bit too old. Biscuit also fighting for the podium place as well. As Optovici does take the fastest lap, we didn't catch what it was. As Yellow Fusion has picked up a 3 second grid penalty. Grid? What's the word? Time penalty. Biscuit getting it just a bit too close for comfort. He had to take some evasive action, and Jordan he saw the open door and he stepped right through. And now Daniel is going to take the position from Biscuit as well. That is really not ideal. Jordan's tyres, 9 laps old, they're still grippier than everyone else's, and he's just waltzing past Big Six. And Pookie, fighting for all he's worth, is probably still not even going to hold on to P3 here with this minute spin. Fusion, by the looks of things. Yeah, that's Fusion. Biscuit still holding on. Thought Daniel 99 was cutting Big Six off there. But Daniel into P4 now, and it looks like Pookie isn't even going to take a podium here now. Early pit stops from the drivers behind. Optovici into 6th. So he is absolutely flying. He's caught to this train in record time. He is absolutely flying. He'll have to dispatch all these drivers. Look at this, the dive bomb he just made on Big Six. Out of nowhere. Now he's got Pookie for company. Can Pookie defend? They've all got DRS. But the traction, the braking, Optovici takes the position. It's no contest. So the drivers with the 20-lap-old tyres have been dispatched. It's now the 15-lap-old mediums of Daniel ahead. Optovici absolutely flying. But is it going to be enough? There is still 10 seconds between Jordan and TomTom, which is essentially 10.5 for Optovici right now. He's going to have the DRS, he's going to have the grip and the traction. Daniel is probably not going to be able to hold on as Optovici takes the fastest lap again, 106.4. Optovici making a dive bomb into turn 1, almost loses control. One hell of a tank slapper, but keeps it in a straight line, and now making the move on Jordan. Oh no! I think that's gone all wrong! Jordan, I don't know if that was contact. Jordan, lucky to keep it going, but he's picked up a penalty for his troubles. I don't think that will stick. That may get removed at the end of the race. I don't know exactly what happened there. Was it contact? Did Jordan do the same thing that Surtees did earlier? Not sure. But now Optovici into P2 has 7 laps to catch TomTom, and that gap is falling like a stone. It's up to Optovici to put on the rocket chips, to drive like he's a Saturn F1. Saturn 5 rocket with F1 engines. And no, not F1 engines as in from an F1 car. Literally the Rocketdyne F1 engine. An engine that can no longer be built because the technology to build it has been lost. The expertise to build it has been lost. You have to build something new instead, and it was one of the most powerful rocket engines of its time. Not so much anymore, even if you were able to build a new one. The gap, 8.9, 8.8 seconds, 8.7, 8.6. Look at he gained 3/4 tenths on traction alone. This is going to be mighty close. Yellow flag, Big Six is out of the race. VSC, this is going to really help TomTom. If this VSC lasts a while, oh, this is going to be really tight. Big Six, I think, came together with Pookie. Not entirely certain what happened, but this is this is that olive branch that TomTom needs. Because the longer this VSC goes on, the less time Optovici is going to have to close in and take the position. Angel into the pits for new tyres. And you can feel the frustration that Optovici is going through as the race returns to normal running. The gap closes 7.9, 7.4, 7.3, 7.2. 5 laps to go. It's going to be mighty close now. If it wasn't close before, it is now. This Williams absolutely flying, but that VSC will have spoilt the rhythm. He has to close at least 1.2 seconds per lap, and even that might not be enough. He's dumping his energy. Meanwhile, TomTom has plenty of energy to spare, so even if Optovici catches up and starts to try and make a move, he's got energy to defend with. It would be like having DRS, like he has now, that he's picked up from the back marker. That's going to help him a little bit as well. And you can see the gap grew by about 0.2 to Optovici there. Bold strategy, Cotton. But it might not hold up here. .6 seconds. 6.7. Optovici, the tyres are starting to let go a little bit potentially. He is driving the wheels off that car, and it may not be enough. In fact, I don't think it is going to be enough, because the rate of closure has dropped off. He's only 6.3 seconds behind TomTom, whereas a lap ago it was something like 6.8. He is losing pace, especially as he is running out of energy to deploy. 3-4 laps remaining. He's still closing where it counts through some of the corners, but TomTom has another back marker that he may have got some DRS off of. And he may get more DRS as well. So whilst Optovici is catching, I personally don't think it's going to be enough. Optovici's still lapping faster than TomTom. We're gonna see what TomTom's lap is at the moment. What it is. Doesn't get the DRS for the back marker. 108.7 for TomTom. Optovici across the line. 107.3. So 1.5 seconds faster, but still only 5 seconds behind TomTom. He's doing everything he can, but now that he doesn't have energy to use, the traction and the grip is gradually dropping off. It's still going to be more than what TomTom has. His tyres are the oldest on the field, aside from Biscuit and Pookie. So the traction and grip through the corners is going to be better, but it just isn't going to be enough. That VSC has ruined Optovici's chances of winning this race. The battle for last place. Well, for the last points paying place, maybe. Oh, I can see what you mean. Vic Vinegar has just punted Angel around. Fortunately, he is a sportsman. Lets Angel retake the position. That's not what you want to have happen. That's not how you take a position. Up ahead, Gladius on 12 lap old soft tyres is going to try and make the move on Pookie. On to the penultimate lap here. And I think Pookie is going to have to settle for 7th in this race. Gladius, rear end lock-up by the looks of things for Pookie there. He's got just a bit too much rear brake pressure on his car, and he locked his rears going into turn 1. That is very rare. I wonder if Pookie is still running with 22 setups, as Pookie fighting back. I think Gladius got turn 3 just a bit wrong, and Pookie able to retake 7th here. But with the traction that he just doesn't have, he's still fighting. He has a bit more energy to play with than Gladius, but in the end, Gladius has made the move, and he's ahead. Oh, and Voptovici picks up another 3-second time penalty, and that is actually not good. Not good for Voptovici at all. Because if we go back, Voptovici, he needed to get ahead of TomTom by 3 seconds. That is not going to happen, but with he already had a 3-second penalty. He's got a 6-second penalty now, which means Daniel99 is going to finish P2. And Surti might end up being P3. Potentially. We need to keep an eye on this. Meanwhile, though, it's been another utterly dominant performance from TomTom. Bubbly may have picked up pole position, Surti may have won the sprint, but in the end, it's TomTom who will walk away with the maximum points from the race. Final corner now, he doesn't mess it up. Across the line to take 25 points. Voptovici is going to take P2 on the road and fastest lap, but P2 is going to go to Daniel through the penalties. What about Jordan? Surti up into P4. So Voptovici does still pick up the podium. It's a McLaren 4-5. Surti at least finishes ahead of his teammate due to the penalties. Biscuit P7, Biscuit P7, Gladius P. Biscuit P6. Gladius P7, Pookie P8, Fusion P9. Angel will take P10 ahead of Sork, but Vinegar will take P11 from Sork through penalties. Reese with 8 seconds of penalties, clearly the superior driver. Final corner is going to finish 1.5 seconds clear of his teammate Shankstar because of his 8 seconds of penalties. Legendary race for Haas. 2021 Haas, maybe. 2019 Williams, maybe. 2023 Haas is a bit better than that, though not as good as they should be. So, there we go. There we go indeed. TomTom, yet another victory. Voptovici takes his maiden podium. Daniel99 will take P2 to try and keep himself in contention for the championship, but at the minute it's TomTom's championship to lose. So in the end, TomTom does take maximum points for the weekend, 31. Daniel will take 25. Surti and Voptovici take 20 apiece. Though, for some reason, Voptovici's fastest lap point isn't counting. Oh, it is counting. It's just being weird. Jordan will be P5 with 15 points. Gladius will take 9 points. Biscuit takes 8. Pookie takes 6. Fusion takes 3. And Angel takes 1 point for the weekend. And Bubbly, the pole sitter, walks away with nothing. So I'm gonna actually let's see what is the standings as they were before the race. That is not what I wanted to see. I've possibly clicked on the wrong thing somewhere. Yeah, I tell you what, I've clicked on the wrong thing. I've downloaded the wrong image. So my apologies. TomTom, 86 points before this weekend, so he's going to have more than 100. Jordan is actually P2 in the championship. I don't think he is at the minute, though, because Daniel 99 is going to have overtaken him. Whereas Bubbly, he was only 13th, had 6 points. He really needed to win the sprint, and it's all been thrown away. So those 6 points, I think Fusion is going to overtake him now. Even Biscuit is going to overtake him. That is really, really bad for poor old Bubbly. But that's it. Thank you for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week for the round in Zandvoort. Actually, next week is gonna be a tough one for me. I might not be able to do that one because I've got work on Sunday for the first time. Well, maybe not the first time, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's not ideal. So we'll see. Maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. We'll act on the assumption that it will happen, but may be delayed. We'll see. In the meantime, though, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, have a good one and good night. Meow.